friends and family. Some have both, some have one or the other, and some have neither. If you've been following my channel for the last few videos, you'll know that I've been trying to get to Phoenix to meet up with my cousin. You might also know that earlier in the year I spent a week with my brother in Charleston. I count myself lucky to have a family that still supports me after everything I've put them through. Friends, on the other hand, I've always had a little more trouble with. But a lot of things have changed since I've been on the road. In my second week hitchhiking, I met a guy named Dillon. He picked me up, he gave me a hotel room, he gave me a lot of advice, and I count him as one of my friends. Dillon lives in Arizona, and after spending time with my cousin, I knew I had to give him a call. Dillon told me to meet him in Quartzite, where he'd been staying with a couple of other guys who I've mostly left out of this video for their own privacy. They had been camping out in the desert, and they invited me to join them. So as I left the comfort of my cousin's house in Phoenix and entered the outdoors again, I was happy to have the opportunity to reflect on how lucky I am to have both friends and family. Welcome to Quartzite. It's pretty beautiful out here, as it in most of Arizona. I'm super glad I got out here during the winter. Apparently, it's not that pleasant in the summer, as you might expect. So I've just been hanging out here at this camp. I haven't really had much of a chance to film anything. You know, I'll probably eventually get around to interviewing some of these guys, but I don't want to film anybody without their permission, so probably a lot of montages in the beginning of this video, but that's fine. Yeah, I stayed with my cousin for about a week there, which was a bit longer than I was expecting to, but you know, she was way more hospitable than I could have hoped. She bought me a bunch of new stuff, gave me some money, and I got like a new solar powered battery charger. I got a new knife, a new flashlight. I got this tripod that the that the phone's standing on right now, so you should be able to see a lot more good high quality shots coming out of me. Today, I believe the plan is to go and busk at a nearby truck stop. Me and Dillon were jamming last night, and I think we got something going on good enough to take it out and try and make some money. So that's what's going to happen today. I'll try and get some video of that, and hopefully we can put up an original song or something. Maybe not original, but original cover, you know. So later that morning, we took off in search of a place to busk. I'm going to show you a little piece of a song here, but if you want to see the whole thing, go ahead and subscribe to my Patreon for $5, and you can see the whole set that we did live there. Pretty cold and dusty, but I guess this is the place.
Here's a plausibility. If I were to think really hard about it, what would it be? What's the one? This is the whole song. Early in the morning when the sun does rise, laying in bed with bloodshot eyes, late in the evening when the sun seems low, that's about the time I roast the crows. Say I got people trying to take me away, or to keep this living in the light of day. I got women up and down this creek. I think I skipped a week. And keep me going in my hands and get me drinking that moonshine, get me higher than the grocery pit, take my troubles to the high wall, roll in the river and get your flip. We think sniffing that cocaine ain't nothing better when the wind cuts cold. Lord is mighty out there, but damn good feel
We did make a little money, but basically broke even. I let Dillon keep all the money because I was using his song in the video, so I feel like that's fair payment. And then back at the campsite, I went to do a little bit of exploring. Definitely, all you gotta do is kind of look down and you'll see all these little bits.
It was a shiny thing.
Apparently this is a very rare cactus. I don't know all that much about it, but maybe somebody will. Cool. I was just chilling in here, kind of taking a nap. And I saw this little guy. It's like not a scorpion, but it kind of looks like a scorpion. A couple days later, I felt the need to go charge my phone, and I found a perfect opportunity to show off the town's quartzite. Here's a good overview of what quartzite actually looks like. There is the highway that comes right through here, and then it's kind of separated into like, it's kind of a truck stop area over there, and then there's this big like RV park slash swap meet thing that's going on here that apparently is already winding down for the season, so this isn't the height of it. And then they got a couple stores and things over here, but it's all done a little differently. It's all very kind of like informal swap meet sort of style. It's very interesting. I haven't seen anything like it. That billboard right there says a whole lot about this area. It says about everything you need to know. On the one hand, you have this, the rock and crystal cellars, different things like that, and at the same time, a lot of them are very, very, very outspoken, I'd say. Quartzite is a town built around the rock trade. And if you just look at the ground, you can see why. One of the cool things out here is all the rocks. So I mean, like, even in a regular rock pile like this, you still got various interesting little tidbits. Any little rock you pick up is bound to have some sort of thing going on with it. Some of them are really, really glittery. Some of them have little evidence of like where the geological boundaries were, wherever this rock has been sitting for millions of years. But and stuff like this is definitely considered, like, me looking at this is probably embarrassing for me, because around here there's way bigger fish to fry than a kind of a white shiny looking rock. There's quartz everywhere. I mean, it's called quartzite. There's other kinds of crystals and minerals that I've been trying my very best to listen to and understand. But just any random little patch here, you can look at the ground. I mean, even the most boring rocks have some sort of color to them, some sort of thing going on. Blue, this one's got yellow and white, some sort of almost crystals there, but not really. I'm kind of looking for one to wrap with wire, because this is one that I bought from the market, and it's got crystals and stuff in it. Don't know how much you can see, but I wrapped it with wire and put it on my hat. I'm kind of looking for another one to do. I'm not going to find anything good though. Cool, it's got like the smooth red sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool.
Wow, look at that. I don't know what that is. Actually, that's really cool. That might be sulfur right here.
I had expressed my interest in the rocks to Dillon, and he suggested that we go to a place called Crystal Hill, which is where you can mine quartzite right out of the ground. Alright, it might sound like I'm in a hurricane, but I'm not. It's just very windy out here. This is Crystal Hill. So this is what I waited another day and a half for, basically. This mountain right here is apparently very rich in quartz and other crystals. And the mountains themselves almost look like crystals. This is, I get a video, just the mountain itself is cool enough, you know. I'm sure we'll find something, but even just all the little Just the mountain itself is cool. Well, it do be windy out here. There's the kind of stuff I'm finding, at least right here. Nothing spectacular. So you can see a vein in the rock right here. That's where this stuff forms. And then theoretically, every once in a while, pieces of it will kind of fall off. Fit on there. You can see little chips, little tiny chips. That's going to be quartz. Not trying to act like I know anything about it, but all these little,
Are you telling me it's time to move to my next spot?
all these little pieces here.
I think she is.
Nothing huge, but there's a bunch of them around here.
Check the next.
Found something over here. It looks like it's all mined out already. That is anything. But it's a different color to the rock around it, so I feel like I'm just taking video of any old rock now, but this one's just so blue. Like the stuff around it's purple. This one's super blue. This is up here. Just a really different sort of environment.
It gets some better than that.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
If you want the big bucks, you gotta take the big risks. And that is why I'm up here on a very treacherous rock slide looking for quartz. And you find big chunks of it up here too. That's what the inside of a quartz vein looks like. Whoop. That is not quartz. There's got to be a good one in here somewhere though. That is quartz, but it's not very good.
Jesus Christ, that wind is something else.
Yeah. From that dig, I got a number of different rocks. Some of them very normal, some of them better. This is roughly from worst to best. So first of all, a couple normal rocks, and a couple pieces of quartz that were pretty cool, but not that interesting. This one's got a big face on it, nothing too crazy. Similarly, this one's got a face, it's got an edge, but that's about it. This was a weird piece that I don't really know what to make of. And then there was a bunch of these crystals that I found in the same place that had a bunch of different facets on them. Mostly not that clear, but some of the facets themselves were pretty clear. You can see the shinies coming off of it, all the different facets. I think this is probably my favorite piece that I found the whole day. Then there's a bunch of smaller, clearer ones with terminations on both ends and stuff like that. And then probably the best single crystal that I found was this one. Pretty dang clear. It's got some, good faces, and looks like a good one. When we got back to camp, the wind was blowing like crazy, and soon enough we realized there was a storm coming in. Alright, well, I guess people like seeing tent setups, right? Don't they? So it's been blowing really hard today, like 50-mile-an-hour gusts through the desert here, and then we realized that there's actually a storm coming in from the north. There's a good chance we're going to get rain tonight. So this gave me a chance to practice my rigging, which is admittedly not all there, but this is kind of serving a purpose. I'm keeping this flap over my trash bag, and I think everything should be covered pretty well. I mean, it's definitely not going to be like a downpour like I experienced like back in Louisiana, for instance. It's probably going to be like very little rain whatsoever, but I wanted the chance to really batten down the hatches and see how that goes. That tent sort of did its job. The tarp ended up coming loose, halfway through the night and was kind of blowing around, but for the most part it kept the rain out, and the rainstorm didn't last that long anyway. So now we come to the last part of the video, in which Dylan is giving me a ride over to where he's going to drop me off, which ended up being sort of near Beaumont. It was going to be closer to, I forget the name of all the towns around there, but Palm Springs or whatever, somewhere in that area. But then he spotted this road into the mountains, and we decided to take the scenic route. Dylan's a very spontaneous guy, and I like to allow myself to be spontaneous when possible as well. So it was a good match. Most of this had to be muted because we were listening to the radio, and also, I don't know, a lot of this video is kind of disjointed just because I find it hard to make videos when other people are around. It's just hard to know that everybody's on the same page, and I'm going to work on that in the future. I think I need to let go of some of my control freak nature. This was basically Mount San Jacinto, that sort of area. And there was a town up there that I have no idea how to pronounce. Here's the shot. That is an overview of this entire, this is the Coachella Valley?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the entire Coachella Valley right here. There you go. Just a little valley. And we came in from over here, and I think I'm getting dropped off like somewhere back there again. You can look at all the hills over here, and it gets bigger, gets into the mountains over that way. And we're just up in the middle of it right here. Just taking it in. We're going further up this way, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright. We went up further and further into the mountains. It started getting icy, started getting snowy. And this is where I realized that I am very much not equipped for the cold, because all I had on me was a very small jacket. Alright, now we're all the way up here, up in the mountains, and there's this trail. As you can see, it's very cold out here. We're just, I mean, it didn't take us very long to get from where we were to up here. This is just right above the Coachella Valley and further into the mountains. Passed through an Indian reservation. I don't know. I never knew that this was up here. I mean, I guess I don't know anything about anything, but this is a new experience. From there, we continued back down the mountain and ended up near Beaumont. There's a lot of good views, a lot of cool mountain stuff. I didn't know much about this region, but I mean, the mountains around here are pretty cool. So there's this creek over here that we just stumbled upon. I guess we could go down there, but I think I'd rather not at the moment. You can hear it. There it is. Look at that mountain creek. Cool. Here's the vista. That's the vista right there. Oh man, it looks so much better in real life. I'm just looking at the camera screen and going, no. That just doesn't look the same.
Caroline. Well, do you want to see?
You get the idea though. We thought that was going to be the last vista, but then there's another vista, and this one's even better. It's just like you can't get away from, I mean, you're just looking down on like 3 or 4 populated valleys over here. I mean, way off in the distance, at least you can see that one over there, and then there's this right here. There's this lake up here, and that is once again a view that you probably can't even see that well on YouTube, but I hope it is appreciated anyway. And that is going to be the end of that video, so go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll check you out in the next one.